Hello and welcome to Kona. I've been wanting to play this game for a while. I had a little bit of a game of it, and well, it's been quite in depth actually. So let's give it a go.
Carl Faubert sought information for a living. That is to say that ever since he returned from Korea, after having served with the armed forces, he had been working as a private investigator in Montreal. William Hamilton, a rich industrialist, had gotten in touch with him regarding a simple vandalism issue. Nothing to write home about. Not worth hiring a private eye either, just so he can drive for hours on rough roads. But that's how it had always been. The client pays, Carl gets it done. They had set up to meet at the general store, his client's business. Well, actually, the entire village had William Hamilton's name written all over it.
Okay, so he's a bit of an important guy.
When the roads were bad, muddy, or snowed in, it was customary around these parts to close them off. But it was also customary to ignore those signs entirely and drive there anyway. Hamilton never mentioned a road-blocking barrier. Why was it needed here in the back of Beyond? That would, however, be a mystery for another day. Carl had waited long enough for someone to come and raise it.
There's no one in here. Manastan, it will be good. Okay, Heart of Wilderness, yep, okay. Just gonna scan over. Okay. It's easy. Haven't I got me in? Yep. There we go. Got me in. Pretty much identical.
Hamilton no doubt knew who managed the barrier. Carl wanted to give him a call, but that would have been too easy though, as sure enough the line was acting up.
Yeah, always lines will act up in these things. Oh, okay. Thank you. Anyone here? Okay. It's unlocked. Over here. Fire starters. Yep, nice one. I'm gonna be okay. Don't close it in. Trying to be nice. Whatever. Got anything in here? There's some fire starters in there. Okay, I'll take them.
Hamilton is waiting for Carl in the general store. It was time for him to get down to business.
Indeed. Off we go.
William Hamilton enjoyed a lavish country house built in the very heart of the northern forests, not too far from here. The local populace was divided when it came to the affluent man. Some saw a wealthy philanthropist dedicated to improving the region's economy.
What a nice day, actually.
Others
Bit
an
hazy.
Englishman who would do anything to further his fortunes. And those ones hated him enough to go on about scheming against him. Hamilton had recently acquired a few local businesses, but the last straw was the reopening of a mine, which gave rise to a wave of protests and threats from the Cree people. Given these circumstances, Carl reckoned that a good number of people must be feeling compelled to oppose Hamilton in one way or another. So far, only the industrialist's house had been a target, but soon enough, Carl thought, the target.
Way up, George! Night-night. A few hours later.
Carl needed to get out of there. The cold and the pain required urgent care.
Great. Now it's snowing. Almost a blizzard. Kona. That was a knife on the floor then.
The driver had taken off. It was still best to check it out and leave nothing to chance. Carl needed help.
What was it? Ah, there we go. Go in here. Okay.
Scratches did not stop Carl. His mother would be so proud.
Open it.
Carl wondered how long he would have to endure this skin-stinging cold.
So we will. Oh God, yeah, we do need to get him in. First of all, let's use that. Put that way and run. That do me. Right. Anyone here? Where?
Even better than he had hoped. Carl Faubert had succeeded once more, and was now on his way to new adventures.
Let's try this one as well. Haha. Fire galore. Yeah, none of the fires that I did before had gone out, so I'm guessing that they don't actually go out once you start them. It's like almost like a save point. Oh, nothing. Okay. No use in looking because I cannot see nothing. I'll take a log with me. To warm up.
Carl,
Have a
like
cigarette.
many of his contemporaries, felt like he had more trouble breathing when he wasn't smoking. Cigarette was his own personal breathing assistant.
Well, it makes his mind go up, so... Mine wasn't particularly good. Deposit a log. Pincers. And away we go. What brought on this snow all of a sudden? I know we're in, like, Canada, but it's supposed to have been a nice day by the looks of it. I guess that's what happens in Canada.
Spread out on a few
Manastan.
acres of untouched forest, bellowing caribou, everlasting snow, and undefiled lakes, the Manastan region was no tourist hub. It was said to have been populated for millennia by Cree people, and ever since the industrial era, by the metal mining industry.
Roy's house.
Carl's military training had made him a very punctual man. Being late to his meeting with Hamilton was out of the question.
Okay, I just thought, like, you know, we just had an accident. I thought just, like, let the authorities know or something. It's the closest place.
Was running on fumes. Good thing that the general store was close by.
These type of places, the general store is just generally everything. Whoa. Okay. Tree fallen. Here we are.
The pumps wouldn't surrender their divine nectar so easily. In all likelihood, they had to be switched on from inside the store. A milkman had to drive by every week to fill the bottles. The fresh milk indicated a recent visit.
Okay.
Something fell to the bottom of the box.
Okay, so we need a key for that. Okay, then.
Carl had no trouble recognizing his employer. He had been killed. There was no need to be a detective to figure that out.
No good.
But only a detective could have noticed that the killer had to have been very close. That the fatal blow had been given before the victim even realized.
Say cheese.
Carl felt a chill down his spine and had a terrifying realization. If Hamilton was dead, then who was going to pay him? an explosion suddenly occurred outside. Maintaining his composure, Carl recalled something from his military training. Wolves always stay away from populated areas. Wait, was it about bears? Carl was no electrician, but he could identify a wiring problem when he saw one. Hate was in the air. Seems like some villagers barely tolerated each other.
Seems like they did. Do I have any... Yeah, I do have my flashlight. So... Okay. No, that's the same. Thank you very much. Any tools? Because it looks like you said we need some pliers. Best to turn it off and disinspecting actually. What was that?
The note explained that the garage and the store couldn't be supplied with electricity at the same time.
Okay. Oh, does that mean somebody was trying to get in the garage? Thank you very much. So I can get up there? No? Yep. There's something up here. Oh, sherry wine. Okay. That'll do me, I guess. Thank you very much.
According to that log, it seemed like the whole village owed some money to the general store. Carl was far more interested in the bunch of nearby addresses he had just gotten his hands on, though.
Okay. Paste key.
Carl knew that Gilles Lachance was in charge of the general store.
You know what?
That made him one of Hamilton's employees. A very angry employee, as Carl could plainly see.
I have a frog in my throat, and when people have a frog in their throat, they do not take risks by going to work. Customers could catch it, right? I'm a wise man, not to worry. I have a nice doctor's note, which I'm going to get right now. Sadly, in the meantime, I'll have to close down the shop unless you'd like to come in and fill in for me. I wouldn't dare advise you. After all, you must know how it's done since it's yours now. With kind regards, your dedicated manager, Gilles. And there's no power, so I can't do that. Oh, I can't pick up a cigarette on the floor. Oh, shame. Post. No, is it this one? No. No, so it'll be the one out the front. Be this then. Oh!
The murder weapon. What was that doing there, Carl wondered. Hamilton must have been determined to keep some information secret to post this key. Shame he got unlucky. Everything made sense now. Poor Hamilton's denunciation was interrupted, and he figured it would be best to lock everything up and send the key to his correspondent, who would receive the box later on. Clever, but not enough. That's what happens to ordinary people playing spy.
Wow, okay. Yeah, as a citizen of Her Majesty and the free economic chambers of the world, I must suggest that it follows to the proper authorities. The worst is happening at this very moment. I cannot write out length, but I am requesting immediate help from my country. I believe that the free world is in grave danger. A member of my community, the Honourable... Okay. Wrong one. Maybe the garage has something. Oh, fire. We've got a log. That log's behind it. Yeah. There we go. Thank you very much. They do automatically close, but I don't like it when you hear them creaking. It makes it sound like somebody else is here.
The crowbar was stuck under the lift.
Notwithstanding
Carl's imposing stature, car lifting wasn't part of his skill set yet.
Without power, we won't be able to get it open. Aha! Is that all we needed? Oh yeah, we already had the tape. There we go. Generator, and we'll have the store. Pump. And we'll fill her up. Aren't you supposed to take off the cap first? Oh, he did.
Carl knew straight away where to find the infuriated Gilles Lachance. Any good investigation would have to start there.
No, there is something in the garage. Okay, alright. Did someone get here again? Alright. Off we go. How do you lift this thing up? Ah, there it is.
At long last, the crowbar was within Carl's grasp. Surely it would come in handy at some point.
Oh, it's something that it's letting me pick up, so I'm taking it. So nobody gets freaked out. What I'll do is I will switch over.
The note explained that the garage and the store couldn't be supplied with electricity at the same time.
Okay then. Just put a log in there. Oh, I put that, yeah. Yeah, I'll put those in there as well. Keep the crowbar on me because, you know, crowbar. No. How do you zoom? Kind of not zoom in while I'm in. Do I have to step out to do it? Oh, oops. Yeah, I have to step out to zoom. A chance. There's that guy there, isn't it? I just passed his house. Okay. Oh, there's a nice little hiking point. I guess I've got to go on that. Hammer's house right at the end. Yeah, it had to be, didn't it? What's all that? Okay, right, so. We're going back.
Carl was beginning to know the store and its surroundings like the back of his hand. The seeker had sought.
Careful. Don't have 2 crashes in one day. Here we go. This is the one. Mr. Gilles a chance, self Manastan, Captain, natural cave in, the natural cave from your property, okay. Okay. No worries. Guess that's another place to go and investigate. Okay, what's this all about?
The crossbow bolt stuck into the wooden stairs reminded Carl of the arrow that was said to have hit Achilles' heel. But who was the intended Achilles this time?
Indeed. Got him closed. Do not knock. Open. Ooh.
The air was freezing, right down to the bone. Was that the Lord Almighty's doing? A huge block of unnatural, glowy ice had swallowed that poor woman's body. What sort of supernatural force could have conjured this? Something was hidden under the stairs. The man grabbed his rifle. Carl felt a sense of dread in him.
Okay. So his dad or granddad?
Perhaps their spousal relationship had been cooling down lately. It seemed like secrecy was commonplace in this house. Carl felt the cold slowly dissipate and was brought back to reality. Giselle was now only ice, and all that was left of her voice was a diary. She confided in this diary, amongst other things, the tragic story of a young woman, a victim. Was this what she was hiding?
Mother once told me when I first met Gilles that I hadn't picked the brightest bulb of the lot. As the years fly by, I'm seeing the truth in her words. Always trust your mother's wisdom. That blackmailing scheme is a prime example of Gilles' brightness. He's like a small dog. He thinks he's better than he actually is. He growls, and generally thinking he's scary, but everyone knows that he can be pushed aside with just a little kick. He truly believes that he can blackmail Hamilton, the big boss himself. It's going to be a long time in hell before my poor Gilles can manage to pull off such a feat. After all, Hamilton's a rich, learned and influential man. Not only is that blackmailing idea bad to begin with, let's be honest, Gilles is way out of his league, but Gilles doesn't even know how he's going to carry this out. I don't even think he ever would. He's just throwing random threats out loud in the kitchen. Then he says he'll do it eventually, but I know better. Successful blackmailing requires a masterful cunning, and Gilles is master of nothing. He is a slave and forever will be. I often look at that safe he keeps hidden in a fake wall in which he stores all those incriminating documents he intends to use, and I just can't come to grips with the sheer ridiculousness of the whole thing. It is true that Hamilton would still have to figure out the combination of the safe and where everything is hidden. Problem is, Gilles himself tends to forget the combination. He has a trick to help you remember his father's first initial followed by 3 numbers. I had engraved behind his pendant. Who would possibly have a hard time remembering 3 simple numbers but my Gilles. October. Gilles has trouble sleeping. He will flail his arms and legs in his sleep. I told him this black veil business would be hard on him. But that's the problem with idiots. They always think that they're the smartest person around, no matter how hard you try to shake them. Hamilton will find out, and then we're done for. I'll have to move to Valdor and live with the small fry. I'm shaking as I write this. I cannot believe I've taken part in this tragedy. I haven't done anything, so why feel so guilty? Poor girl. She was so young. Okay. On there, fill up the bottle. Turn on the light. Nothing. I can't close it. Oh, stuff it. Painkillers. Unpack boxes. There, they just moved in. Yeah, we're repainting the whole house. Oh, yeah, blooming light.
Looks like the holes in that puzzle are there to stay.
Yeah, it does. That's our partner. Cut. Oh, great. Need one of them. Yep. There's a room with smoke. I'll go to that one. New journal entry. Oh, about this. How could it be just a massive, like, sudden blizzard just happened, like?
That window had seemingly been left open for a while, Carl thought. Given the punishing weather, it couldn't have been intentional. The pot was cold, and the stew inside wasn't cooked. It's likely that poor Giselle was slow cooking it before she got snapped. What a waste.
Yeah, waiting for a partner. Who puts a cigarette in the fridge? Seriously? Oh gosh,
the general store, along with several more infrastructures in the area, had been acquired by wealthy industrialist William J. Hamilton. Perhaps the village should be rechristened Hamiltown.
Yeah, very funny, isn't it? Considering he's dead.
Moving. What a pleasant activity. Of course, you'll find the record player only to find the records weeks later in some random box.
Like she said, a letter and numbers. Well, I have no idea. B something maybe. Gotta find his pendant.
What a mess. Clearly, there was some major revamping work underway here. The place looked barely habitable. Many boxes scattered about. Carl didn't need to summon his detective training to quickly figure that the Lachances had just moved in.
Harlequin novels.
Beautiful portrait of Gilles and Giselle, bound together by the chains of conventional love.
Cigarettes.
The cross looked after a marriage's well-being and served as a motivator to uphold the priest's sermons calling for more little worshippers on one hand and cautioning against guilty pleasures on the other.
I wanted that.
Indeed, the Lachances were still part of the God-fearing generation.
So it's B something. Okay, right. Where are you going? I got a lock here. That blue ice again.
Carl was used to strange phenomena, but a chunk of ice like this, as if an iceberg came out of the ground, that was a first.
Strange.
Prince? Carl found a surprise at every turn. Was the camera faulty, or was it a possible lead?
See what we got. More. This is you.
A shiver ran down Carl's spine as he glanced over another body trapped in ice. Indeed, the scene was quite chilling. Carl felt familiar shivers going down his spine, and he was back to the realm of visions. To all appearances, this was a hunting log. Better yet, a war diary.
Okay. Oh.
What could these engraved numbers mean?
It's pendant.
A fresh path suddenly appeared before Carl.
That'd be the numbers for the safe.
The vision slowly faded
I was
away,
right.
like an icicle melting in the palm of your hand.
It's our partner.
Carl, back in the real world, now knew who the icebound man was. Gilles Lachance, the general store's manager himself. That had to be the worst parking job ever. Who was Carl to judge, though? It may be customary to park like that around these parts, or not.
Where was the... Nope. Can you? Have a quick cigarette. Get the mind going. This way, wouldn't it? Yeah, there he is. Whoa, what a gun. No wolf could have done that. He was trying to get back to his love, so I'll give him that. There she is. Bless her heart. It's like a blast, just hit that particular central piece. Like a weapon. Weaponized snow. Strange. So it's B... What, sorry, what was that? 739.
Carl had seen that kind of safe before. With its double-layered security system blending letters and numbers, its code couldn't be broken by the common burglar.
There we go, compromising. William Howden is crook. He's been blackmailing everyone in the village, myself included, like the infamous Seraphin Poudriere. In this document is proof of every bribe paid by Hamilton to the federal authorities in regard to the acquisition of his damn mine. The fact that he has used his henchmen to instill terror within the village will not sway the tribunals down in Montreal, but the fact that he has been bribing government officials surely will. I can already picture it making the front page. The English are all the same. We will prevail. Written with different ink. Martin Hamilton is not only a crook but a murderer. Do not believe in his remorse. I firmly believe he will pay for his crime. I do not believe in native magic. I do believe in their vengeance. So why is it that Hamilton seemingly killed and you and your partner are ice blasted? No, it's even all the way in there. Christ. No axe or anything, is there? No. Put in there. No. Oh, I can put that in there just. And then I've got a couple in there. I don't need to pick any more up unless it's to use the fire. Check over this place. Is it this one? No, I don't think I did I? There we go. It's just off the trail. Okay. Where the treasure hunt begin, I have hidden wonderful little things for you to find all over the village. Follow my clues. You are holding your hands the first map. The hunt begins at my place. You are so clever, I'm certain you will find everything. Martin. So, that'll be just off to there. Past the general store, so I've not even got there yet. Okay, no worries. Check out this place. Maybe if we've got enough time to check out the next one down the road. If not, then we'll be probably ending the episode about here. Okay. Anybody here? we got there?
What was even the point of locking your door if everyone hid their key in the same place? Carl was starting to feel like his investigator life lacked challenge. The house smelled like incense, the kind that reminds you of the good Lord, of peace.
Are there any logs? Do I need to grab one from... Withdraw one log. Thank you very much. There we go. No loose change. No food for rough times? Well, yep, this would be classed as rough times. But don't look like anybody's home.
Religion was very influential throughout Quebec many years ago. Indeed, it was surprising that Carl did not come across a single chapel since arriving here.
How did they draw the sun? Yeah, that is a good question. Etch sketches, you have a continuous line. Yeah, why is it faced that way?
Good Paul VI, appearing papal. His crooked fingers gave the impression he was about to bestow a miracle.
Do I have an empty bottle? No. Thank you very much. No. Oh, I thought we got to close the doors now. More film. Nice. Can't be bothered to close the doors until I need it. I need a magnet. Okay. What'll be that for? No sound on the line. That's really not good. Oh, 2 steaks. Nice. You're going to take that Coke? Okay.
The perfect cookie-cutter Catholic family, most likely attending church every Sunday. Who knew that giraffes thrived in the North Pole? The craze for toys was stupefying.
Nothing.
Love of religion and ancestors was rooted deep inside the hearts of Canadians of old, to which the Bedards appeared to be closely related. The family's mother must have spent her days washing the filth off her kids' diapers. The empty cradle sent an eerie feeling down Carl's spine, as if minutes ago someone just grabbed the baby and made a run for it.
So there's no light down here. What's that all about? Etch a sketch.
Jean-Luc Bedard had without a doubt been the closest man in the village to William Hamilton, otherwise known as Uncle Willie.
Diary, just like Mum, unlike her though, I don't wear a long face when writing. But I do love to write my thoughts, and about Martin most of all. I love talking about him. I think he loves me too, just like in Romeo and Juliet. People don't like it when I see him, only because he's a play. But just like in the story, nothing can stand in the way of true love. I just lost an appetite. I can't sleep anymore. Every waking hour, intense shivers run through my body. Dad's making me see Dr. Beaupre with his big hands touching me everywhere, his foul breath exhaling all over my face. Yuck, I'm not sick, I'm in love. I love Martin so much. There's nothing I like better than thinking about us playing together. Okay, so she's quite in love with the dude. Martin cries when she feels lonely. I think there's no reason for her to cry. I'm quite a religious person, so why? Rich guy doesn't look half bad, as bad as Martin told me he was. When I saw him this morning at Dad's office, he told me, call me Uncle Willie. I found that pretty funny, plus he gave me candy. Loves the same way he does with Father Label. I had to gobble up the doctor's medicine. Okay. So, yeah. Quite as I can do one puppy all the time, it's so annoying. See Martin today, you seem pretty thin. Maybe kind of dirty, doesn't look as neat as presentable as Uncle Willie, that's for sure. Okay. Bizarre. Okay. Now in the ladies' room herself. Turn on. New journal entry.
Dream catchers originated from First Nations legends. They were used to trap nightmares. Carl wasn't desperate enough to invade a village woman's privacy. Carl wasn't desperate enough to invade a village woman's privacy.
Oh. But it's right there. Okay. I think I know what it is about because I remember seeing something before. So I might need to come back here. Alright, we'll just check in his garage first and then we'll end the episode. Go in here. Thank you. And what we do is we turn that off. Thank you very much.
A true Catholic always strives to keep lowly temptations at bay. Obviously, Carl thought, someone in this house wasn't doing a good job at upholding the Holy Bible's teachings.
Somebody was not doing too good a job. Oh, nice, yep, thank you. Take that. Like a bit of a mess in this family.
Carl smiled at the sight of the nicely protected garden. Hopefully, the Beddards had managed to dig every last potato out before the sudden snowfall.
You'd have hoped, wouldn't you? But who knows? Right, we've hit the hour mark, so what I'll do now is I'll end it here and catch you in the next episode. So take care.